right, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight on One Nation of Sports Soccer Magazine Extra. I'm your host, Kurt DeMars, and I am looking forward to sharing with you tonight about the Mid Missouri Homeschool Mavericks basketball team, as well as the state championship that just took place just a couple weekends ago. So excited to be able to bring with you, or bring to you tonight, Terry Donner, my friend and organizer of the state championships, and excited to have him. Also, a parent of some local student athletes that are on the basketball teams there. So we're going to hear a lot about what's taking place with the Mid Missouri Mavericks, as well as what took place at the state championships. So without further ado, let's go ahead and bring Terry on, and let's talk about some of these things that took place. Hi, Terry. How you doing?
Hi, I'm doing great. How about yourself, Kurt?
I am doing really well. Thank you for joining us tonight, and excited for you to share with us a little bit about the Mid Missouri Mavericks basketball teams as well as the state championships. So, um, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thank you. Definitely appreciate the opportunity to be able to, again, just share information about this local program here. And like you said, just kind of, I think if nothing else, highlight some of the great things that the student athletes are doing here in the Mid Missouri area.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, why don't you go ahead and get started with talking a little bit about the organization and the different age groups, what they consist of, and kind of the type of league that they compete in.
Sure, sure. So the Mid Missouri Mavericks actually it's a competitive team. Been around since 2010. It is a Christ-centered homeschool basketball program that covers the pretty much the Mid Missouri area. Goes from grades 6 through 12 for both boys and girls, and at all skill levels. Um, the coaches they're volunteer coaches, so they want to make sure that they stress what it means to be a christ-centered program. So they welcome families of all faiths to play basketball, and again, like I said, the coaches want to make sure that they encourage that christ-like character on and off the court. We make sure, of course, that we pray before our games. We have team devotions when we travel to tournaments, which we'll have a tournament regionals coming up here shortly. Um, and yeah, so as far as the teams that we have, for 15 years we've had teams for the Mid Missouri Homeschool Mavericks. Currently, we have 6 teams. So we have, junior high boys and girls. We have, of course, junior varsity boys, as well as varsity boys and varsity girls. So all together, again, we'll probably have somewhere around 52 players, 9 coaches, and 13 volunteer board members that help run the organization.
Wow. There's a lot that goes into that, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to make sure that we recognize what you guys are doing, as well as let people know a little bit about what's been going on with the state championship. I mean, you're heavily involved in that. Why don't you talk about that and the responsibilities that you have as a board member?
Sure. So one of the things with the state championship, it was the third year for being held here in Mid Missouri. It's actually in Columbia at the field house. Um, the actual tournament itself, the state championship tournament, it's actually the 13th annual tournament. The first year was actually in Columbia, Missouri. Then, of course, it moved to St. Louis, and of course, it's been in Columbia for the last 3 years. So, as you know, with anything that is going to be successful, you have to do a lot of planning. So, as you can imagine, the planning really starts when the tournament ends, which it was actually the February the 13th and the 14th was the actual state tournament here in Columbia. And so, uh, that tournament itself brings in, tons of individuals. Has over 12 different homeschool programs there represented. 80 games in basically 2 days.
Wow.
Each team usually plays 3 games apiece, and so we had. represented, like I said, from southern Missouri, the St. Louis area, Kansas City, even northern up and around Kirksville. 52
Hmm.
teams basically split into eight state championship brackets, and
Wow.
uh, so yeah, over close to 500 players were registered for that program, and it's just a great two days that we had. Everything went well. We had good feedback, and so yeah, it's a great program. Like I said, to highlight student athletes, homeschool athletes here in the state.
Yeah. Well, and we talked a little bit about before we started the program that it happens to fall almost all the time during Valentine's Day. So, uh, what a good opportunity for kids to be able to be out and families to participate. You know, we'll just say share the love, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great theme, like you said. It usually falls around the around Valentine's Day, and so it's a great opportunity to kind of showcase, of course, the Columbia, Mid Missouri area. Bring a lot of families into the area. Usually, of course, they're staying up in that area and getting a chance to visit. But it's also again a great opportunity, I think, to highlight just homeschool basketball here in the state of Missouri. It's a sport that I think that again it's one of those ones that you bring a lot of people in, have a lot of fun, and a lot of families get a chance to see grandchildren, children play, and just a great overall time with the program here locally.
Well, there is a lot that goes into it. If you would take a little bit of time to talk about, you know, kind of your responsibilities and other board members' responsibilities, but also your president, and just share a little bit about them and just kind of why you guys do what you do.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think the the why behind that goes back to the program itself. Mavericks program for several years. I have two children that's a part of the program, and I think one of the things that we hear from parents, and that we've also had an opportunity to experience is really, the Mavericks really just tends to become more of a family unit when you join the program. Um, it does involve travel. Again, what we stated is it's competitive. So as part of that, especially with the junior varsity and the varsity, we have tournaments. Some of the tournaments are either regional, which we again will have that tournament. Actually, it's this week. That tournament is actually in Wichita, Kansas, and then of course we have a national tournament that brings in teams from all over the nation. Last year, we actually played a team out of Hawaii. But that is in Springfield. That's a week tournament in March. But again, the why behind the Mavericks, the homeschool Mavericks homeschoolers, an option to basically play sports. Where some may not have that opportunity. And the nice thing about, I think, the Mavericks program, like we said earlier, is it is really open for boys and girls at all skill levels. And I think
Hmm.
that's one of the things that you'll see with the Mavericks programs that maybe is a little bit different than some other programs out there.
Hmm.
And so we've have student athletes that this may be their first year, playing basketball at a competitive level, and they're still able to join. And again, the coaches will help those individuals become a better player, again, on and off the court, and they still get playing time. So again, it's just a great again, Christ Center program
Hmm.
that I think many families join for that reason, because again, it does become more of a family.
Well, there's probably quite a bit of expense as well, traveling, doing all the different things that you guys have to do. What's that look like for a family, for the organization? How are you guys able to do all that?
Yeah. With our junior high level, of course, junior high teams are usually not attending the tournaments, the nationals and some of the regional tournaments. The junior high team does attend the state tournament that just happens to be local. Um, but we try to keep again expenses as low as possible for the families. We do fundraisers. We of course have sponsors. We had some fantastic sponsors that sponsored the state championship this year. So that's always a great thing. So yeah, and we do fundraisers, of course. I love to barbecue, so that always kicks into play at some of the things. And so yeah, but yeah, there is some hotel travel in there. But again, as parents, we also do carpooling, so we may, have pick up someone else's son, and they'll pick up our son for the next game. So we kind of try to balance it out so it doesn't put too much on the families.
Yeah, that's very good. You talked about the regional tournament that's getting ready to come up in Wichita. So, what teams qualify to go there for the regional? I mean, you just had your state tournament, but what teams qualify to go, and um, how many representatives are there?
So for the regional, I'm not an expert in that, so I'll try to answer that. So for regionals, I know we have actual teams come out of several different states, and that falls under a different. But it's kind of like a National Homeschool Association, Basketball Association that's over that, and they have a seating based upon where you fall um, as far as throughout the year, how you kind of stack up, I guess, against other teams. But you can actually go to different regions because there are different regions. There may be a heartland, there's a Midwest, and then there's a southern. So there's different regions where a team that may be in this area may actually go to, depending upon where they're located. But we see teams coming, of course, out of the state of Kansas. We see teams coming out of the state of Arkansas, Nebraska. So for that heartland, and it's usually in the state of Kansas. And then of course there's also the Midwest, which that is actually in Indianapolis or in Indiana. And so it just depends, like I said, depending on how you're seated
Hmm.
and which region you choose to go into.
Okay, very good. Why don't you tell everybody how the Missouri Homeschool Mavericks did in the state tournament, and how proud you were of those teams.
Yeah. So, again, I think our student athletes and our teams uh, you know, represent very well, no matter what tournament, again, that they play in. Again, one of the things that we center on is, not that you win or lose, but it's how you do both. And again, we want to make sure again that we have the student athletes centered in regards to that Christ-like character, both on the court for sure and off the court. So they did well. We of course didn't bring home any championships, but again, I think that they represented the program very well in that state championship this year.
And what do you enjoy? As far as being a parent, what do you enjoy as far as the process, getting to see your kids go through just this whole experience, the coaching that they receive, the competition, the opportunity to travel. What are the special things for you?
Sure. I think the special things that we tend to see are the friendships that are developed over the season, for them starting off at the beginning of the year, going through the program for several years, and that camaraderie and friendship that they will build along the way, with some that maybe we have a couple of students that I help coach in upward programs, and so some of those students are a part of the program. And so my son, of course, has played with those students pretty much through upward, and then of course they join the Mavericks, and they continue to build those relationships and continue to play basketball together. And so I think one of the things you see in this sport, or in this program, as you will see some friendships that I think that are made at this level that will continue on, and hopefully that will continue on, as the children, continue to grow and maybe even go into to college. And so we see that as well. Of course, Mavericks is a great program, and I think one of the things we've even seen, some of our student athletes have been recruited to play on some of the local college basketball teams as well. So again, I think the biggest thing that a lot of the families see is really just the friendships that are developed through the program with other students as well as families.
Very good. I want to go ahead and take a quick break, which will lead us into talking a little bit about coaches here in just a
Sure.
moment. So you've done a wonderful job, and let's just take a quick break and
Okay.
recognize our sponsors, and then we'll be right back.
All right. Sounds great.
CNS Business Services has been connecting employees with employers since 1977. Recently, CNS rebranded to CNS Employment Solutions to more clearly define their mission of serving the needs of applicants, employees, and businesses while remaining current and evolving with the changes in the workforce. One important thing has not changed. CNS Employment Solutions partners with a wide variety of employers, placing employees in jobs that match their skills and needs.
Say yes to CNS.
Okay, CNS Employment Solutions, they've been a sponsor of Locker Magazine for a very long time. We're in our 11th year, and they've pretty much been with us from the beginning. So we greatly appreciate them. And we greatly appreciate the fact that they are a sponsor for this program, giving us an opportunity to share a little bit extra as far as the articles and the student athletes in the magazine, as well as some different things that are taking place in our community, just like the Mid-Missouri Homeschool Mavericks basketball program, and we're just thankful for them and their support in helping us to be able to do all those things, as well as their important part that they play in helping people find jobs right here in Mid-Missouri, and employers find the talent to be able to fill those positions. So we just want to say thank you to Paula Benny and all of her team at CNS Employment Solutions. Also, we want to just say a quick shout out to Big Whiskies for being our Coach of the Issue sponsor. And just like Joseph Collier of Capital City High School, he was recognized in this February March issue of Sports Locker magazine. And we just want to thank Big Whiskies for giving a shout out to our Mid Missouri coaches. They spend so much time putting in a lot of hard work and effort, not only coaching our kids, but mentoring them, spending time away from their families. They put in a lot of hours, and we just appreciate the opportunity to be able to recognize our Mid-Missouri coaches. And again, we just want to say thank you to Big Whiskies for helping us to recognize them. All right. Well, we have been talking tonight to Terry Donner about the Mid-Missouri Homeschool Mavericks basketball program, as well as the state championships that just took place. We've talked a little bit about the regional tournament that's getting ready to take place in Wichita, Kansas here. I think it's this week. And then, of course, it will move on from there. But what an opportunity for these kids to be able to gather in competition under a Christ-centered program, and just being able to get out there with one another, compete with their friends, and just people from all over the place. And it's people that work hard to put all that together, like Terry Donner. And we'll go ahead and bring him on here again and talk a little bit more about coaches, because that is a great transition to move into after Coach of the Issue. Why don't you tell us about the coaches for the Mid Missouri Homeschool Mavericks and what they mean to the whole program?
Sure. Well, I think you hit it earlier when you were mentioning the importance, I think, of coaches. Coaches have a huge play a huge role in the lives of the student athletes that of course, are part of the program. Our coaches are Christian and encourage Christ-like character, as we stated again, on and off the court. As we stated, we pray before our games. We have team devotions again when we travel, and so coaches are play a huge role in guiding behaviors. You always have mom and dad, but when you have that mentor like a coach, is for some of these individuals. They help build character, character traits, of course, that we look for. And so yeah, they play a huge role. And like you said, we have volunteer coaches, so these are unpaid positions. And as you stated, they spend a huge amount of time away from their families, of course, traveling with the teams, of course, practice. When you start getting up to the junior varsity and the varsity, they practice 3 times a week.
Mm,
And so that's usually 2 hours, 2 hours a day. So that's a lot of time, spent again away from family. And so they make huge commitments, and in doing those things, and again wanting to see these children advance and become all they can be.
yeah, that's it is very important everything that they do, and I know parents greatly appreciate all the work that you put in, as well as a lot of the other coaches, and we're just grateful for them. Um, I also want to just say that I had a coach of mine from high school just recently passed away, and he was we had won the state championship in 1983. Kind of a Cinderella team. We had a 6-13 record going into sub-state, and ended up winning the Class 5A state championship with an 11-13 record. But coaches are important, and I wanted to be able to give a shout out to well, basically for his family for all the effort and time that he put in, and it was fun to have some of my former teammates join on the program, and his wife and his kids making comments, and just wanted to show appreciation for all the hard work that he had put in, spending time away from his family, and just all these years later, and I can tell you it's been a long time. It's been over 40 years. It's been a long time, uh, but it was kind of neat to see just the guys from the team were corresponding, and just trying to do different things for the family and recognizing coach, and they make a difference, and it's not just during that particular time. It can be lifelong.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know, like, Macy Walquist, she's had a huge impact on some of the girls that she's coached, and now on the entire program. Why don't you talk a little bit about her and the importance of the role that she plays?
Sure. Yeah, as you stated, Macy makes a huge impact, and continues to make a huge impact. She is the president over the board, of course, of the program for the Mid Missouri Homeschool Mavericks basketball, and her leadership again has just been a part of this program since the beginning. Again, like I said, the Mid Missouri Mavericks has been around since 2010, so the program has been around for a while. And again, like I said, I think having someone that has been with the program, understand what that program is about, and keeps it grounded and true to the mission, I think is important. And so I don't think a program would be successful if you did not have that type of person. And like I said, Macy does plays a huge part in that role as the president, as well as athletic director, and helping schedule and do all those things. And so yeah, it's a lot on her plate. And like we said, all the positions are unpaid positions, so
Mhm.
you definitely have to have a love for the program, the game, and of course the children as well.
Right. Uh, you know, when you're talking about all the different age um, groups that are represented in the Missouri Homeschool Mavericks, um, how do you create the continuity between going from one level to the next?
Yeah. Yeah, so I think, one of the things we mentioned before is we have wonderful coaches that understand. We actually have one of our coaches, Coach Caleb. He was a Mid Missouri Mavericks, and that's one of the things that we will see sometimes is we will see some of our past players that will either help and come back and either help in the summer when we have camps, summer camps. Those types of things, or that may help coach as well. They may be an assistant coach, but Coach Caleb is one of those who actually is a coach for the junior high level. And so again, I think with any coach, you're going to build upon what a person learns. So again, coming in at that junior high level. You may have some students that they've never played ball before. They've never played competitive sports because they may not have attended a public school or anything else. And so they never played upward. And so you're going to start off at a different skill level and teaching those individuals. And basically, what you're doing is you're building them. And if they stick with the program, and throughout the Mavericks program, each coach is going to take them and try to get them to the next level. I saw that, of course, in my son, and he came in at the junior high level. And
Mhm.
so the development that you saw from each coach and what they saw and invested in each one of these children basically helps them grow to that next level. So you go from a junior high to a junior varsity player,
Mhm.
and then of course you definitely see that transition between junior varsity and of course varsity. It
Yeah.
moves a lot quicker, the speed, and so basically they're preparing them, if they choose to move to that next level, to get them
Right.
to where eventually they will be varsity players. But you see that being started and honed in on a lot of times at that junior high level. And again, like I
Mhm.
said, for a lot, it's actually teaching them some of the basics as they come into the program. But ultimately, like I said, depending upon where they want to go, is trying to get them to where they will, be that junior varsity or varsity player.
Yeah. That's absolutely right, and it's you know, great coaches. And if I'm thinking right, it's probably is it Caleb McGinnis?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
No,
Caleb Barry. Barry.
Barry. Okay.
Yep.
I
Yep.
remember Caleb McGinnis playing for the
Yes.
Mavericks a long time ago, so I wondered if he
Yes.
was in there. So, well, that's
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
good. Excuse me. Well, we do have a quick comment I want to share here, real quick, and it's from Mary Marshall. And thank you for sharing that, Mary. She says people that are not involved in athletics don't understand all the benefits of being in a sport and learning life lessons and people skills and making good choices, and that one person's actions affect others and learning proud and hard work. So thank you for sharing that, Mary. We appreciate that. She's exactly right, and you know, there's a lot of people skills that are learned through athletics. The mentoring again of the coaches, the coaching how to be not only a better um, athlete, but also a better student athlete, a better person. Just talk about how important that is, and again, the Christ centered part of it. Um, it's just how important is all that to the development for these young kids.
Yeah, yeah. I think like you said, the importance of having a coach or that mentor that student athlete could look up to. Again, we all may have the mom and dad telling us things, but having that other adult invest in that individual, because as you stated, a lot of character traits are learned on and off the court during that 2 hour practice session, which again that may happen, 2 to 3 times a week. So not only are they learning from some of the coaches, but one of the things we've also seen is some of the team captains, and you'll see some of those younger children being identified as captains. You can see that leadership skill set coming out of those individuals, usually at a younger age. But some of the team captains will step up and show some of that leadership, which again, for a younger child coming up, they may look up to some of these older varsity boys as well as JV boys and or girls, and see some of those traits or character traits that are being displayed at that age. And of course, it's giving them a positive role model to look up to in some of these older players that we have on the program. The other thing I think for us that that for sure that we see is you know, uh, with some of the homeschool players is just not them, being proud of who they are, being proud of, of the homeschool program. And of course, like I said, being proud of that Christian character that, being unashamed as we state. And so it's just a great thing to, to have that camaraderie that we see amongst our players, but also with the parents and with the coaches.
Hmm. Absolutely. Uh, you know, we hear so often in our society today, uh, talking about separation of church and state, separation of faith. But I'm telling you what, the importance of our faith, especially in the days that we live in now, these end times, it is so important to see young men and women being raised up in their faith so that they can be examples and that they can be encouragers, and they will be there for people in the times when they are in their darkest times. So I mean, I applaud you guys for um, encouraging these kids to continue to grow in their faith and to be an open example for others to see. And um, I know that that probably really makes you proud as a father, and also just being part of an organization that is openly sharing that. Why don't you tell me a little bit about that, if you would?
Sure. I think you hit the nail on the head with that, in regards to us showing them the way, if you want to say it that way, but also just to teach them you do not have to be ashamed. So we hear so much about the separation of it, but it's always a great thing when at the before the game that we can come together as a team and show them the importance of what it is to be able to pray for one another as we basically form a circle. You see different attitudes throughout the game as well. So we know that as a competitive league, they play hard. But one of the things we have seen time and time again, when that person is goes to the ground, everyone will rush over to help that individual up. So we see a change in attitude in these programs that we are part of. And again, I think that from the families that we have seen that are part of the program and that put a lot of work into this program, it definitely is one of those things where I think the parents are proud to be a part of a program that is not ashamed to put and say that we are a Christ-centered program and that
Hmm.
we don't have a problem with praying before the game. And so as the motto for the Mavericks program is 1 Corinthians 10:31, and it says, so whether you eat or drink or play basketball or whatever you do it all for the glory of God. And so that is the verse that the Mavericks uses, and of course the student athletes remember as part as they go out there and and give glory.
Yeah, and again, it's just an absolute refreshing blessing in the times that we live in, especially in this age of the name, image, likeness. Um, we look at a lot of the excuse me, self interest. Excuse me, that when we talk about a selfie, again, it's
Yeah.
a lot of self motivation, but teaching these kids to um, live a Christ-centered life and to be an example of what He has commanded them to do is actually far from self-interest at all. It's loving God with your whole heart, soul, and mind, and it's loving others as you love yourself. It's loving others as He's loved them. So I commend you all for what you're doing, and I think it's a very important thing in this time that we live in. And so I'm just thankful for you guys and all that you do, and appreciate you coming on here tonight. I want to give you an opportunity to share any additional things that you would like to share, and um, let you kind of give any additional shout outs you want to do. Whatever you want to do, go ahead and feel
Yeah.
free to do that.
Well, again, we just appreciate you, of course, Kirk, in allowing us to highlight the program, highlight the homeschool basketball championship. I'm hopeful that, of course, will have a fourth year in Columbia this next year coming up, and so, but yeah, so one of the things that we love to share, of course, is that there are plenty of opportunities out there for student athletes. Even if that's not basketball, there are other opportunities out there, of course, that either that being track, or if that's volleyball, or if that's baseball. So there are plenty of other options out there, for homeschool parents out there in the mid-Missouri area. But for the if your child loves basketball, and if they have a heart for basketball, and if they've never even maybe played, and they want to get a sense of what that looks like, we always tell them to reach out. We always have something in the summer that we put information out about, on the Mid-Missouri Mavericks homeschool page, and we send that out to the groups if they have any interest in that. But again, like I said, we're just thankful that we're actually able to share the love of Christ through the game of basketball, and just thankful, of course, for the families out there that are part of the Mid-Missouri Mavericks.
Yeah, that's great. Um, yes, and you gotta be Christ-like even towards the officials, right?
For sure. Yeah. Yeah.
even
Yeah.
even
That's
when it's
that's
not
one
going our way.
that is a true statement, and that's one of the things that we have great relationships with the officials, and so we make sure that our fans, and of course our players, make sure they show that same love and respect to them as well.
Yeah. So how can people get in contact with you if they want more information?
Sure, sure. Well, I mean, they can always reach out, of course, go to our Mid Missouri Mavericks, Midmo Mavericks .com webpage. They can, of course, reach out to us through Facebook. We have a Facebook page out there as well, Mid Missouri Homeschool Basketball. And yeah, you can reach out through us any of those avenues, and we'll definitely reach back out to you and get you some information.
All right. Well, Terry, thank you very much. If you will, I'll have you hold on
Sure.
while I close out the program. But thank you for coming on tonight and sharing with us about everything that's going on with the Midmo Homeschool Mavericks as well as the state tournament. Again, thank you for all that you do.
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. All right. Well, I appreciate you being on, and I will see you shortly.
All right.
Okay, thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. I had my friend and guest Terry Donner on the program, and he was able to give us a little bit of a look, a glimpse into the Mid Missouri Homeschool Mavericks basketball program as well as state championships, and just appreciated all of his knowledge, all of his time and effort that he puts in, as well as the other board members, other parents, everybody that's involved in it, sponsors. There's a lot that goes into this organization, and we just appreciate them greatly. Excuse me. Appreciate you guys for joining us tonight, and I hope you're able to come on again next week at this time. I'm your host, Kirk DeMars of One Nation, a Sports Locker Magazine Extra. And until next week, God bless you, and I will see you then.